Credits will you work with the Excel bullet journal tutorial covering the basics on how to use this Excel. So first thing we're going to do, I think there are two bodies of people who are wanting to use this. Those who are wanting to just print it out and use the layout, and those who are going to either go purely digital or going to tweak it because they know Excel well enough to go in here and mess with things. So for the first ones who are just going to print out as is and use it, I'm going to be going over the general layout and how things work. So if you need to make some minor tweaks, you can. And then I'll be going into some of the functionality for those who are going more digital or going to be tweaking it for their own purposes. All right, let's get started. First, you've got your weekly calendar here, which is going to have your habits, your water tracker, your actual week calendar, Monday date, and then you've got 10 spaces here for things to be automatically generated, or you can just write stuff in. But if you're automatically generating, then it's tied to your DTR, your dates to remember page down here. And like I said, you can do up to 10. For me, I use this for holidays, birthdays, reminders, such as print out the next week's weekly. Next, you have your to-do section. You can use this as a note section or whatever. For me, it's my to-dos. Then you have your monthly overview, which is tied into the formatting here, is tied into this date here. So if you change Monday to next week, then it's going to highlight that week in this monthly calendar. It's going to change the dates here, and it's going to change your 2-week overview, which is what this is here. It's going to list out anything you have going on for this week and the next, which is why these two are highlighted and nothing else. And believe me, I do have other things highlighted for this month. Unfortunately, for this particular calendar, if I was to do something, say in August, so let's change this to 7-29, because this is still July, you're not going to see anything here. Same thing as these. These dates are tied to this, so they're still July dates. But let's say this is August 5th. Now that these dates are August, those dates are August, you've got that highlighted. So if you're going to print this out and use it, the only dates you really need to change is the first day of the week. And you don't have to start on Sunday, you can start on Monday, it's up to you. And if you're going into a new month, you just need to figure out which date you want to start with. You can either start on the actual first day of the month, or you can just do the whole week. I tend to do the whole week. All right. This is also a little notes section, but you can use it as for whatever. Sometimes I need reminders on what specific things I need to do for my to-dos. Now you've got your chore section down here, dailies, weeklies. This is also tied to this date here. You can keep it or you can lose it. It's up to you. It's not going to hurt anything if you get rid of it. Your monthly chores also tied to your DTR page, which later on I'll show you guys how to add things for this and this. Let's see. Then you've got your randomly generated meals, which is tied to your meals page. I'll show you how to use that as well. Shopping list, fairly straightforward. You can leave this blank and write it in yourself, or you can just type it in. Again, personal preference. You've got your what have I eaten section, or your meal planner for the week. It's got fats, proteins, carbs tracker, calorie tracker. So if you're counting calories, it'll automatically do it. If you're on a keto or a paleo or any sort of diet that's tracking these, you can put those in there as well and they'll calculate. So that pretty much covers page 1 for right now. Next we have page 2 over here. So this is your reading tracker, and all the titles are drop-down boxes. So all you have to do is just select whatever box or whatever book you're reading, and it'll automatically populate what the book is in the series, what its genre is, what format you're doing. For me, it was an audiobook, who the author is. The rating system, you can keep or lose. The start, you can keep or lose. The stop, if you are going to be using reading as a reward in the tracker, then you want to keep this for how I have it coded. But again, you don't have to have this in the bullet journal. If you get rid of it, it's not really going to hurt anything except for maybe one of the rewards down here. You'll just have to change the code, and I'll show you how to do that a little later. Now we've got your spending or expenses tracker. These are monthly, and they will show up based on what you have in your actual month expenses here. Okay, then you've got your more frequent purchases, such as groceries. Maybe you go out to eat or you go to the movies. Those type of things can be handled here. This column I use personally as an allowance tracker. So anything that's conducive to my household or my family, I will track here. Anything that's only conducive to me, such as getting myself a manicure, pedicure, going to buy myself some shoes, whatever, I'll put that here. Okay. Next, you've got the I'm bored now what section. Personally, for me, this is pretty much my excuse not to sit on my butt. I have this to look at to see that there's all these things I could be doing. I could be knitting. I could be going through my kids' clothes and, do I donate it? Do I trash it? Do I keep it? Could be going for a walk, going for a run. Give my furball Charlie a nice good grooming because Lord knows he needs it every once in a while. Next, we have the cleaning checklist. Let's see. As you can see, this format is a little different than what you guys might have right now, and that's mainly because I was playing with the digital reward side of it over here. There's also, so for the X's, it's actually counting them, and this is a cool little conditional format I put in here. So right now I have 9 rooms that, according to my tracker, I've cleaned. Now let's make it an even 10, and voila! If I put that in there, then the chores are accomplished and I no longer have to look at the list. So if you want, I can show you guys how to do that a little later. You just let me know. It's fairly simple code. And now it's not accomplished. Okay. Down here you have the reward tracker, which I will show you how to get into the code in another video, but I have this set up to where as the points accumulate, which right here is the counter, they will automatically show what rewards you're entitled to. So there's that neat little code. And then you've got the workout log here with the number of reps I'm doing per set, what the workout is. Apparently that day I was very ambitious. 10-mile run. Yeah, I wish. Alright, but that's covering the basic layout and purpose of these pages, and that's essentially the tutorial for right now. I will be coming out with another video shortly covering some of the more in-depth sides, such as how to use the DTR. Actually, I'll just go ahead and show you that now because that is something even the paper formats are going to need. So let's see. July. We already have something listed in July, and the way that works, see, there's July, there's Independence Day. But say I wanted to add a few more things on Independence Day. So I put the date in here, and then I put whatever I'm doing. We'll just say it's a test. This column is more of a reminder. It's not necessary, so you don't have to put anything in there if you don't want to. But let's say I have a few things going on that day. So copy, paste, there you go. And then you just go in here, and there they are. They're also going to show in your 2-week overview. Now this isn't in order, and that's easy to fix because I have these filtered. So you just go in here, send, close out, go back to your weekly, and now they're in order. Okay, easy peasy. And same thing for your monthly cleaning. If there's anything that you want to add, you just put in the date, you put in what it is, and it'll show up in your monthly cleaning when that week comes around for it to happen. Alright, so that's how you use your DTR. For your meals page, the way I have this set up is I name the meal. The location, I either put a hyperlink if I got it off the web, or if it's from a cookbook, I'll put the name of the cookbook in the page, and then whatever it is, if it's a no meat, if it's primary chicken, pork, whatever. If I've made it before, then I know the servings. And if I have a date in that it's eaten, this recipe will no longer show up here because of how I have it coded. So you're not going to get, let's see, if I have steak kebabs, then that means for that month we have not eaten steak kebabs. But we have eaten chicken enchiladas, we have had chicken strips, we've had steak and roasted veggies, so those recipes will not show up for the rest of the month or until I remove these dates. That's how I have this coded. So you're not going to have any repeat recipes for the month unless you're actually doing it. I believe I already showed you the reading list, and that's fairly straightforward. The start-stop, you can probably get rid of those. I'm probably going to drop them from mine because I'm not using them. I only track the dates here on this page. Your numbers is essentially just a year's overview of expenses, but this right here is probably something you will want to change. I'm pretty sure not all of you have kids in daycare if you even have kids. Some of you may not have pets, some of you may not have credit card bills. This is completely editable, and when you do edit it, it's going to change the category drop down for what you have here. And if this changes, then these need to change, because let's see. I should have a number here. The whole reason I don't is because, as you can see, U space dash space. This is U dash space. So let me put the space in here, and voila, there's my number. Okay, so these numbers to populate for that month need to have these names match whatever's over here, because they're grabbing from here. Alright, so that's essentially the overview for this. I'm sorry if I missed anything. If I did, send me a comment, let me know what you'd like to see more of, specific things, and I will shoot out another video going over that, or I will send you a PM, something with instructions or an explanation as to what or why it is. Alright, but thank you, Reddit, for all the support and encouragement to use and share my bullet journal. I really appreciate you guys. Signing out.